How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. Now, on today's show, we're going to be talking about Manchester United because the agent of Donny van de Beek has left scathing criticism on the club already. We're also going to briefly take a look at the Chelsea-Spurs game in the Carabao Cup because I completely forgot to do that yesterday. And the last piece of news involves Arsenal because there's apparent interest in Ainsley Maitland-Niles from Manchester United.
I represent my fucking self.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to DT's Daily. That's right.
So the first place we're going to start is Manchester United and their new signing, Donny van de Beek, and his agent has been speaking about life in Manchester for his new player, and it's not great. And when I first see this, I thought, really? He's only been there a couple of weeks. Surely he ain't saying these kind of things. And I'll tell you something, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will not be impressed by these comments. Now, he's been at Manchester United for 3 games. He's been on the substitute bench for both Premier League games. And the only start he's had to date was in the Carabao Cup against Luton Town. Now, in the first game against Crystal Palace, he came off the bench, made an immediate impact and scored a goal. And then in the game against Brighton, he was involved for the winning penalty. So his agent, who was, of course, a former player as well, has been speaking about his start in Manchester. And he's not happy at all. He's saying that he doesn't like the fact that he's on the bench. He says that, you know, as a player himself, he couldn't do it, standing there to come on in the last 4 minutes or so. And then he went into the actual, you know, style and the way that Manchester United are playing, and in particular the Brighton game. And he's gone on to say that he has to say that Van de Beek did 3 more good things during that game. The penalty where the winning goal came from, it came from him. Normally, Manchester United should have been losing that game 7-1. Brighton hit the post and bar 5 times. They have a nice team, but that should not happen to Manchester United. Wow, that is pretty scathing and not great on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, I remember watching that game, and the one thing that I did, you know, come away from after watching that and thinking is, how on earth did Manchester United win that game? I mean, I'm not talking about the VAR decision. I'm not talking about the fact that they got a penalty after the full-time whistle had been blown. I'm talking about how they got anything out of that game, full stop. Brighton equalising in the 95th minute was the least they deserved. They would have probably gone in from that, still thinking they should have got 3 points. They would have still been disappointed because they absolutely battered Manchester United. And that's not an exaggeration. It was not good in any way, shape or form. You look at Manchester United's performance in the first game when they played Crystal Palace and they were absolutely shambolic. And then you look at this game as well. And the only positive that they could possibly take from that result was 3 points. How they got out of there with a victory, I still do not know. Well, yeah, we do know because they got penalties as usual. But you get what I'm saying. It's just not great. You only have to listen and speak to Manchester United fans at present, and they will tell you they are not happy. They don't like the football. They don't like the way the team's playing. Solskjaer is under immense pressure. I don't think he's going to be under as much pressure as maybe a Frank Lampard, given the money that Roman Abramovich has spent and everything else. And he doesn't have that kind of sentiment towards somebody that's a legend of the club. If it's not working, bye-bye, bring someone else in. Where I feel Solskjaer, he's got that legend status at the club and it gives him that little bit of extra time. And he always seems to have these purple patches. He had a patch when he first came in as the manager, and that ultimately got him the job, and then they were dreadful. And then they went for another purple patch when they were dreadful, and it made everyone think, okay, he's now starting to make his mark. He's a great manager and he's, you know, starting to implement his own style and everything else. But now it's gone sour again, and it's not great. The football's poor. The way the team plays is poor. And in my opinion, Solskjaer is just not a good manager. I'm sorry, but he's not. He got the job based on the fact that he's a club legend. Let's be real about it. And they had that purple patch. Apart from that, he's not a great manager. This is the same guy that got Cardiff City relegated and was managing in the Norwegian League. Seriously, not good enough for Manchester United. And I think a lot of Manchester United fans, if they're honest, can see it. They're trying to hold on there in the hope that something happens. But for me, it just is not going to. Not under him. I'm sorry. So yeah, not great words from Donny van der Beek's agent. And yeah, remains to be seen what he says in a few weeks' time if his client's still not playing and they're still not playing well. Next piece of news involves Tottenham against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup, and I completely forgot to mention this one. It was the only game of the evening and it finished 1-1 in normal time. Timo Werner scored, really good goal for Chelsea, very dominant in the first half. And then Spurs come out a different side in the second half. Eric Lamela equalised in 5 minutes from time and it went to penalties. And Tottenham won 5-4 on penalties. I don't think the new Chelsea goalkeeper dived the right way for any one of the penalties. And it was Mason Mount that missed the final spot kick. And what's an interesting subplot to that is that Timo Werner was actually due to take the fifth penalty, but he was getting treatment for cramp, I believe it was, when they were actually organising everything. And he said that he wasn't able to take one. So if he didn't have that cramp and he didn't have that slight injury, then Mason Mount wouldn't have taken a penalty. But that's the life of football, I'm afraid. It just so happens that he was the one that missed and the only one that missed. And also, one interesting story in this game with Chelsea winning in the second half. Eric Dyer ran off the pitch very, very quickly. And Chelsea were actually on the attack. And I think it was Hudson-Odoi that had a shot just over. And nobody could work out what on earth was going on. And Jose Mourinho went flying down to the tunnel. And they've got cameras inside the actual tunnel area. And Jose Mourinho's gone flying into the dressing room. And then Eric Dyer has come out a short while later. Kind of, you know, fixing himself up. And it's very evident what had happened. He needed to go and relieve himself. And to put it bluntly, he needed to go and have a number two because he didn't want a dump one on the pitch. I know the ground itself is a dump, but I don't think he could have added any more to it by actually taking one in the centre circle. So yeah, needs must, toilet needs. And he had to go off the pitch. He had to get to the toilet pretty sharpish, or it was another Gary Lineker. And Jose Mourinho was not too happy about it at the time. But you've got to laugh, and fair play to Eric Dyer as well. He posted a picture, which I've seen on social media, of the Man of the Match award on a toilet. So yeah, fair play to him for having a little bit of banter about him. But listen, nature calls, man. It is what it is. But yeah, interesting. And Chelsea, Frank Lampard, told you. I'm not going to say no more, but it is what it is. And Tottenham, they progress through to the next round of a competition that they may well be able to win. But that remains to be seen. Last piece of news involves Arsenal and news that broke yesterday. And it was pretty laughable when I first see it. And that is that Ainsley Maitland-Niles is a target for Manchester United of around about £22 million. And as soon as I saw this, I was like, what a load of tripe. Is it such a quiet day in the news office that they have to go and print this? But Arsenal have actually said, it's a load of rubbish. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going nowhere before the end of the transfer window. They've made it very clear. They've already turned down an offer from Wolves after initially looking like they were agreeing to let him go. And then he had that performance in the Community Shield and everything else. And it kind of changed Arsenal's mind. And I think the fans' reaction as well. They didn't want him to go. And yeah, apparently Manchester United were in for him. It'd be interesting to see where he would actually play at Manchester United. If he went in there, then he would automatically be their best right back. Waiting. I'm waiting in the comment section for the Manchester United fans that are going to nibble. But yeah, look. Absolute rubbish, this rumour. No chance is Ainsley Maitland-Niles going to Manchester United. Arsenal have said it. It's not going to happen. I can't see it. And I don't think even Manchester United fans want it to happen. So it is what it is. So there we go. That is it for today's DT's Daily. There will be a preview in the next couple of hours to tonight's game. We're back in action, Carabao Cup. And it's Liverpool again at Anfield. So keep an eye out for that one. I will be on the watch along tonight as well with AFTV. Tomorrow there'll be the usual DT's Daily as well as player ratings. So if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button. Make sure you smash a like on this video and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.